guys, thanks for coming back. Today basically what I'm going to show you is how to do simple design by dotting. So basically all designs within a nail salon that they do for you start with dots, and typically they use dotting tools. What I'm going to do today is show you how to make some homemade dotting tools and then show you how to use them for dotting. So my favorite thing to do is I actually just take a pin. So I actually don't know what these are called. They're for alterations when you want to take in clothing. So you just take a pin and it has like a little odd shaped pearl on the end. What I do is I take a pencil. This is actually a lead pencil that looks like a pencil, but as long as it has an eraser in the end, you'll be fine. So I take a pencil and I just stick the pin into the eraser as far down as it'll go. And then it looks like this, and it becomes a dotting tool. So what you would end up using is dotting this round part into the paint or nail polish, whatever you would use. Sometimes people like to use acrylic paint, and then you would just make dots on your nails. Another thing you can do is just use the back of any makeup brush or paintbrush, so it's also round. So you would dip it in the paint and then make dots on your nails. Some more common household items for designs are toothpicks and bobby pins. So you would take a normal bobby pin and just split it at a 90-degree angle. That way it becomes comfortable to hold, sort of like a pen. And it'll make smaller circles because it's a smaller surface, so you would dip it in paint or into nail polish and make dots. And with a toothpick, that's for very, very, very fine dots. So I would just dip it to make stars, for example, little speckles. That's what I would use a toothpick for. Now, I'm going to show you what these look like on your nails, and I've just chosen two contrasting colors to show the difference. So I'm just going to take this yellow. It's a Sally Hansen Extreme Wear. It's just a nice light yellow. And I'm going to apply it to all of my nails. So again, as I mentioned in the manicure tutorial, what you would do is you would go right up to the cuticle. Oh, and what I've done, sorry, I completely forgot to mention, I've applied a base coat. I use a L'Oreal base coat. I can actually show you what it looks like if you want. It looks like this, just a L'Oreal base coat, and I apply it. The reason you always apply a base coat is to prevent your nails from ruining and to prevent them from yellowing. So if you wear a lot of nail polish, especially dark colors, if you don't apply a base coat prior to applying the nail polish, when you take the nail polish off, you'll actually notice your nails are yellow and ruined. So always apply a base coat. So I've already actually done that. You can see that's why my nails are all shiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yellow and just go right to the skin and then out to the nail. And like I mentioned last time, they tend to not do this in salons. They don't cover the entire nail. I'm not sure why, but it's a pet peeve of mine, so that's why I prefer doing my manicures at home. So you're just going to cover the nail. First coat always looks a little splotchy, and then just fix it up so that it's a nice line at your skin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make dots with this other color. Now before you start making dots, make sure that this dries, otherwise you're just gonna make a big old mess. So what I do is I use a paint palette. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a piece of cardboard, you can use a bottle cap from an old water bottle. It's not a big deal. I just use this because it's plastic and it's easier to clean afterwards and I can reuse it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your nail polish, and I'm actually using a Revlon scented perfume polish. It's just this cute little pink that contrasts nicely with the yellow. I'm going to take it, and you're not going to kind of rub it off on the sides. You're going to make sure it's goopy, and you're just going to drip drops. You don't need a lot because nail polish does dry quickly, especially in open air like this. So what you're going to do is it's better to put a little and then just refill if you need to. So I'm going to show you the bigger dotting tool, this one, and how it works. So it's easy to use because it's long and it looks like a pencil. So I'm just going to dip it in, make sure it's not dripping, wipe it off on the side a bit, and then I'm going to make a dot. So that one's a smaller one. If you want a bigger dot, you can actually hold it for a bit longer, and then the paint slides off and makes a bigger dot. So there I have two dots. Now that's this one. I can show you the bobby pin now. So it's my bobby pin, and just make sure that the plastic hasn't fallen off like it has on this end, that you actually have that little drip. It's like a plastic edge to it. That's what you're going to use to make the dot. So see, you put some paint on it and then just dot it, and it makes a much smaller dot. And this is what you can use to make flowers, faces, anything like that. And then lastly we have our toothpick, which if you dip in, makes a very, very small speckle. And the beauty of toothpicks is that the nail polish actually dries on the edge, so if you only have a toothpick to use, what you can do is dip it, let the polish dry, dip it again, and then you end up getting kind of like a little ball forming on the end of it, which actually makes a dotting tool. So once this is dried, I could dip it and it would make a bigger dot than the previous ones. And there you go, we have a little makeshift smiley face out of dots. Okay, so that's how you would make dots, and you can do that on all your nails or on just a few nails, and typically you would do this to make a design, or if you just wanted to do polka dot design on your nails. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then once it's dried, you would just wait for it to dry. You would use a top coat. I use O.P.I, it's a very, very little bottle. It's just an O.P.I top coat. You can use any top coat really, and you would apply it to all your nails. Now, if you have a design on your nail, I suggest you use an excessive amount of top coat if you're not 100% sure that it's dry. I'm going to show you how I apply it, just for future designs. So on a nail with no design on it, I would just go over the nail, and that's it. But on a nail with a design, I would drip it into the bottle generously, make one line, and then dip it again. The reason I say this is because if the brush gets even slightly dry, you're gonna smudge the entire design, and it's just it won't be the same form that you made it originally. So I dip it, and that way once the top coat dries, it actually seals the picture in, and it'll stay that way. So this is how you do dotting, and you'll never need to go and buy a set of dot tools from a manicure place or a salon or anything like that. You could actually just use household items. So hope you liked the tutorial. I'd love to see some of your dotting designs, or if you know of any other household tools that people could use, please feel free to share. And thanks for coming back to watch. Tune in for more. Bye!